As we were cheated out of Han Solo's funeral in The Last Jedi, I wanted to read Leia's funeral speech for Han from The Last Jedi novelization. This funeral takes place at the beginning of The Last Jedi as the Resistance evacuated Dakar, a ceremony Akbar had insisted on just for Han.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
Han would hate this ceremony. He had no patience for speeches or memorials, which was to be expected from a man who was allergic to politics and suspicious of causes. I once told Han that it was tiresome watching him do the right thing only after he exhausted every alternative. But sooner or later, he'd get there. Because Han hated bullies, and injustice, and cruelty, and when confronted with them, he could never stand down. Not in his youth on Corellia, not above Yavin, not on Endor, and not at Starkiller Base. Han fancied himself a scoundrel, but he wasn't. He loved freedom, for himself certainly, but for everybody else in the galaxy too. And time after time, he was willing to fight for that freedom. He didn't want to know the odds in that fight, because he'd already made up his mind that he'd prevail. And time after time, somehow, he did. Han didn't want to know the odds when he and Chewbacca flew back to the Death Star in time to save my brother Luke, the last hope for our alliance. He didn't ask about them when he accepted a general's rank for the ground assault on Endor. He didn't want them calculated when he fought for freedom on Kashyyyk. And he refused to think about them when he saw a way to fly through the First Order's shields and infiltrate Starkiller Base. So many of you have offered me your sympathy, and I thank you for your kindness. But now I ask you to focus once again on the cause we all serve. We face long odds. The New Republic is leaderless, and the First Order is on the march. I can't tell you what those odds are, and I don't want to know, because nothing could change my mind about what we have to do now. We must return to the fight. We do so because, like Han, we believe in justice and freedom. And because we will not accept a galaxy ruled by cruelty. We'll fight for those ideals. We'll fight for each other and the sacred bond we forged serving side by side. And we'll fight for all the people in the galaxy who want to fight but can't. Who need a champion. They're calling to us in terror and grief. And it is our duty to answer that call. We all have our sorrows, and we will never forget them or those we have lost. In time, we will honor them more fully and properly, but we must save our sorrow for after the fight, because right now, we have work to do.